Greetings, everyone! It is time for Legacies of Caine, Advent of Darkness story in World Darkness, Vampire the Masquerade, to continue again. Yes, we are early today. Records Reveal got canceled, and then I had something that was good chance of coming up this afternoon, pretty much right when the stream is done. I might have to go a little early, but not too bad if it's a little early, just like, 5-10 minutes. But yeah, but we're going to dive into it. If you hadn't joined us last time, our group here is in Hawaii for a supernatural auction they are organizing in order to trap a few enemies, trap a few friends, I guess, in a way, in their own kind of things, and acquire a number of items. Information.
What are you talking about? This is for charity.
Yes, it's totally for charity. Totally for charity. But anyway, so an assortment of dangerous, deadly, and friendly supernatural beings is in a hotel, the Sheraton in Honolulu, that they rented out. And they had a luau. A bunch of people attended that. It was a time. And then they went to get their fortunes told by one Quisamala. And they got some interesting fortunes told. Warned them of some stuff. Very vague stuff. And Candy fainted, but, She thinks she just saw a spider and a big one that's in Hawaii and overreacted to it. No one tell her that, I don't know if there's spiders in Hawaii native.
There are.
Okay. I can never remember if that's one of the native things in Hawaii.
Yeah, it is. There are native spiders. There are native spiders pretty much everywhere.
They're good at getting places.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah. You have now finished your fortunes, and you head back to your two rooms.
Yep, I believe Dawn was approaching.
Yep, haha. And
because Dawn's coming later.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, apparently she's not, because she's got to do long distance now, so...
I mean, that doesn't mean... Anyway.
Apparently there's a variation of huntsman spider in Hawaii.
Oh, I hate it. Nope. No, I do not like that.
There's apparently, spiderrid.com.
That's what I'm looking at.
Has the list of spiders in Hawaii. 15 unique spiders conferred, wow. But anyway, enough of spiders in Hawaii. You'll take Candy back with you and rest up. She probably thinks she saw the giant daddy long leg or something if you'd identify it, Giant.
So, Candy, what did you think of your fortune?
She was a nice lady. She told some nice stuff. That spider freaked me out. I'm sorry I fainted from it. I don't know. I guess it's just I'm used to, jolly old London and, New York. It's not much spiders in those areas. At least small ones if you get them.
Yeah, usually the rats are what are the problem that are
and I don't
large.
mind rats.
Yeah.
I had to pet one in my youth.
Yeah. Some tropical spiders can get pretty big.
Yes. Pretty big.
Pretty big.
Just like there's some tropical roaches that can get pretty big. As Ryan wanders in with a suntan and that and glasses,
Especially if they come from out in the middle of the sea where they were doing all that nuclear testing.
Anyway, I'm gonna go to bed, though, honey. If when you're ready, just come and find me. I know you got your big auction tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Looking forward to it.
Okay, she'll head to bed.
Awesome. Do we have any time for talking to Helena briefly?
You probably could. I'd say right now you're a couple hours from dawn, from sunrise.
But she's right here.
That's why I changed it to sunrise.
Got it.
I'm so sorry I picked the name with this exact.
I love it. I've loved it every time Dantas has said, Dawn is coming.
I'm a child.
What's up, kid?
Oh, we all thought it.
It's okay. I kind of predicted my status. Nathan friend zone.
No.
Ow. Don't hit me.
Yep.
I mean, Dawn kind of just
There you
turned
go.
into a disaster lesbian. It wasn't planned, but I'm rolling with it.
Okay, you get going. Go keep cleaning.
I'm down the couch and I'm having a break right now.
Okay, go clean up like the. Did you get the unicorn?
I'm on break.
Okay, then go take your break.
Yeah.
She had a 5-day weekend because of Valentine's Day and President's Day, so she's on her last day
Oh.
off.
Hey,
Yeah. And she's got 15-minute state mandated breaks, too.
Well, she was supposed to be cleaning up some of her mess.
and I cleaned off the whole couch.
That was all your stuff. Anyway, we're doing a show here. Go, get going.
No, I'm staying.
You can stand there. Careful.
I had my stuff spilled. My stuff.
You gotta be quiet if you're there. Anyway, enough of adorable kid who's around.
Ha.
What were we talking about? I was interrupted. Oh, Dawn.
You're spilling my stuff.
Roy, you're supposed to be quiet. I'll help pick it up.
All right.
So, you're going to Helena.
We might want to go to Helena to talk to her about our Federico and Francisco plans, since we now have a little bit more detail.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You'll go to her suite, kind of knock on the door. The door will open. Oh, it's you folks. What do you want? Miss Helena is preparing for the next day. Or you're not supposed to be on the stream. Get off right now.
Not on it.
You are. If you're on video, you're on it. I am on video right now. So get going out of the room, okay? Leave. No break in my room. You don't necessarily have permission. And I don't want to just have you on randomly. When you're kind of in the background, it's fine. So get...
I'm in the back.
Kids don't listen.
Ha, I
Charles.
heard that.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Nathan! I enjoy
Great
seeing you.
to see
What
you.
a nice time meeting you here. I heard you organized all of this.
Oh, I certainly cannot claim that distinction. I merely helped organize the charity fundraiser for Mr. Cromwell, whom we've been building a relationship with.
Yes, you did quite a good job with help of Mr. Cromwell. I don't know if you could have done it on your own.
Hmm. Well, that's why I have good friends.
I guess that's what some people need. Friends, because they can't rely on themselves. Anyway,
Indeed.
shall I tell Miss Panhard you're here to see her and grovel before her feet some more? Oh, joke, joke. I jest with you so much.
You are quite the jester.
Master of comedy.
Possibly more of a master of baiting.
He's gonna...
Please tell her that we're there.
He'll go over and he'll like close the door, go into the room. He'll have you wait like 10 minutes. And then he'll come back and be like, Miss Panhard will see you now.
Thank you, Charles.
Yes.
Good to know that you can carry a message across a room. And I'll step past him.
Mm-hmm. Nathan, what is it that I can do for you? So close to dawn, to sunrise.
We have more fully developed our plans regarding the gentleman we discussed earlier.
Excellent. What can you tell me?
Well, we can tell you that someone has invited someone who is not on the list, who apparently has some difficulty with your friend.
Do tell.
Does the name Vikos ring a bell?
Yes. Vikos does ring a bell. What do you know about Vikos?
Apparently she's grown wings. Will be arriving sometime tomorrow.
Let me guess. Your aberrant hunter that is looking for one of your targets brought them in.
Yes.
This is a problem in more than just one way. The unfortunate thing about Miss Vikos is that Miss Vikos is a staunch member of the Sabbat. And I would not... Granted, our friend, well, the associate announcer, Tally, he is within her purview in Washington, but he's out of politics there for a reason. I would rather him not drawn into the limelight. Is she participating in the auction?
Not as far as I'm aware. And as I don't know anyone who has officially invited her, I was thinking that perhaps this would be a matter to leave to our security.
We can see, but unfortunately, I do not know if your security would hold up to a Smiche elder.
I'd heard that mages were quite adept at dealing with a variety of troublesome issues.
Those conjurers can do many good tricks, but they are still limited. A trick of their own, something to notice. They avoid anything that's quite flashy. Similar like we avoid flashiness just to stay to the limelight. It seems that their powers, the flashier ones, carry a backlash to them. I don't quite understand it myself, never dived into it, but I have seen mages do some fantastical things, and then their bodies twist from it. When they change the world changes them in a way. They have, in a way, too much power. Dangerous thing. That's why those with imagination seem to get by. Like our neighbors within New York, technocracy. They use a shadow of advanced technology. We, that still have powers that are best described supernatural, can oftentimes understand that that is what they're doing. Mimicking advanced technologies from those sci-fi books and TV shows. And in a way, really using magic. Seems to be the trick to it. I'm guessing normal mages have normal conjurers, have their own way of doing it too. Unfortunately, I do not. That means that security of the mages will work on her, especially if there's an actual invite. I don't know about how their system works. Have you checked in with them?
Not as of yet.
If you can switch the times, you might have an ally in this case, though, too. The person's not on the guest list, right?
Correct.
So, the deal was any invited and approved would be protected with any entourage that they had. As long as your friend, the one you're using, doesn't claim her, she would be free game at this place. But you have to be careful that she does not, if she does claim her as a ally. Not that I don't believe your friend is on the guest list though, but part of your party, she could be considered. And I think she has a few friends at this place too.
I would imagine.
It's a tough line you are walking.
Indeed. And so, of course, I come to my prince for your expertise in dealing with fine lines.
If you could arrange something beyond the boundaries of the hotel for both of them, you could control the situation. It might be a little difficult with who you're targeting. The only thing I had to warn you about is the man you're going after, Beckett. I know you are aiming more for his end, but let me tell you, as much as he's got a lot of enemies, he also has a lot of friends. So be careful about your level of involvement, and if you truly seek for his death. He ruffles plenty of feathers, but he also knows how to play the game.
Of course.
I care not either way, but I know of a few individuals who will both be happy at his demise, and a few that would be very disappointed.
Can you give me any insight onto who those might be?
That is something that, depending on how things end up, I would give you the proper warnings.
Ah. Excellent.
Just be cautious, Nathan.
Of course.
Is there anything else then?
As far as our specific plans for the gentleman that we are both concerned with, we have found some aid in assisting with that particular issue, and we plan to deal with things while you are having your meeting.
All right. Well, I'll keep you informed of the exact timing, and then we can take care of things with that.
Excellent.
Tally should be able to keep DiPolona within the city, at least within the hotel, the extra day. So we'll see how things go. You'll be on your way, yes?
Yes. Thank you very kindly, my prince.
She'll kind of nod.
I will bow or whatever and leave.
All right. You'll head back to your room, and I assume you're heading to bed, then, or is there anything else you're doing?
The only other thing I can think of would be dealing with Emil's past. So,
It's
Good question. Well,
what do you
Emil,
think?
up to you how you want to define your past and having them help you.
I mean, yeah. How do you bring it up?
Well, I imagine it would come up quite easily if we were to request a chat in the lobby with Horatio himself. And you were there. Your safety is guaranteed by Elysium. Or at the very least, your death would be avenged.
Very well. We could... I guess if you insist, and as the Oracle said, I assume this is something that I need to do.
I never used to put great stock in prophecies or fortune telling.
You know, neither
However,
did I.
the Great Lord Cockroach has been quite eye-opening as far as such things go.
That's definitely one word for it.
Perhaps Ryan would be willing to join us.
Oh, yeah. Oh, hi, guys. Sorry, I've been using your minibar. I ran out.
He's just sat in the corner in just a t-shirt and his underpants and the little mini bowls.
He's got still, like, the straw hat on and the sunglasses and, like, the bad tan, too. He didn't take those off.
I trust you're having a good time, Ryan.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. It was nice to see the old crew, too.
Mm-hmm. Have you heard any word of our friend Samuel?
Oh, they say good things about him. He's doing okay, as far as I know. They were in contact with his group a little while ago.
Excellent. Glad to hear it. How would you like to have your friends down in the lobby for a little bit of a drink?
Oh, I'm sure they'd be good. Everybody's always down for a drink.
Excellent. In the event that things turn unpleasant, I trust that you and your friends would be willing to help us out.
Depends on how unpleasant it is, but I'm sure yes.
I'm thinking unpleasant in the sense of one of us being someone trying to attempt to commit murder upon one of us.
I just point to a meal.
I just gotta give you a look of like, thanks for your vote of confidence.
We'll put you in the back. You'll be fine.
Emil, I'm trying to arrange for the protection of your person.
We've seen Ryan with ginormous gun. It's really impressive. You'll be fine.
Also, he is pants-shittingly scary when he is a big cockroach.
Yeah, he is.
All right, excellent. Shall we?
Ryan, put some pants on.
Oh, yeah, pants. I'll go do that.
Mm-hmm. Probably the brown ones.
Oh,
They're all brown.
Yeah.
You are well prepared, Rob. Alrighty.
Okay, so you're gonna arrange to meet with
Good old Horatio Ballard.
yeah,
Right? Ballard?
Yep.
Ballard.
Horatio...
Okay, you'll arrange for him to be down in the kind of lobby area, so it's a large lobby. It's kind of like that little sitting area. He'll be down there with like his entourage of thuggish-looking men. Look very gangster, or like I would say like somewhere in between like businessman and gangster. So like upscale gangster. They're
So Capone.
Capone, yeah. He's got Capone thugs basically with him.
Mm-hmm. Excellent.
Nathan, my boy, so good it is to see you again. Please, please, come here, come here. Oh, he's gonna like offer his hand. Probably go in for like one of those like not like a full hug, but like a shoulder pat kind of thing,
Mm-hmm. Oh, I will reciprocate. That's the word. And say, I believe you've met my companion Dawn.
Hi.
So good as to see you too again, Miss Dawn.
And I believe you know of my other companion by reputation, if not personal meeting, Emil.
His look will turn incredibly sour then. Oh. Why is he with you?
He has been incredibly useful in accomplishing many of my goals. And I very much hope that the two of you can find some sort of common ground, so to speak.
Well. Common ground. There's a reason he isn't wanted in Chicago anymore. He's just glad that his offense wasn't greater. I would have called a hunt on him.
Well, it's a good job that didn't happen then, because he's been very useful. Like, incredibly so.
Emil?
He's just kind of staring.
I'm just kind of looking a little awkward. Just
It's difficult to find common ground while you stand there speechless, Emil.
Does anyone want snacks? We could get snacks.
No.
Okay.
I really would like a name for my sire. I never did.
Sure. I got one for
I never
you.
did name him.
I got one for you. And it's close enough to make sense to Chicago. Mark Decker.
Okay.
Let me put it this way. Mark Decker was the reluctant and former Prince of Milwaukee. Former for a certain reason.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And the reason would be you. You also know he was a werewolf hunter, but he always talked about teaching you his craft, but he never did.
Okay.
Just because he didn't feel you were ready for it.
What a deck.
Uh-huh. And you probably have heard rumors that one of your, effectively siblings has taken over for him in Milwaukee.
Mm-hmm.
If I didn't bring back your head, Julia would be quite miffed with me. But then again, she always said that we should talk things out. But Mark was a very good friend of mine. And you did. Even though it was, in a way, accidental. Take out not only your own sire, but a powerful player in the Midwest. And I need plenty of them.
He was my friend too. I made some mistakes.
And you left the region and apparently got in with their lot. Yes?
Yes. It was... unfortunate. And I have changed the way I do things so that it won't happen again. Or as little as it may be worth, I am sorry.
It is worth very little, let me tell you. Mark was a very important man. While most of his clan sought to turn to the Anarchs, he was a staunch defender of our organization. I'm just glad that you had turned to a rebellious side in this case, and his children were very intelligent in staying with the lessons that he had taught. Even the wayward ones and dangerous ones like you. Why have you brought me him, Nathan? What is the point of all this?
I prefer to avoid violence at any gathering that I'm a part of. And was under the impression that such things were a risk between the two of you.
I see what you're saying. Make a little peace, and because you do have business with me, keep him off my radar. Well, as I said, there's a reason I didn't kill him and only banished him. He's not to show up in Chicago or any of the nearby regions. In fact, the entire Midwest has been off his radar, and should be. But peace, it's a hard thing to gain. As much as my anger is great, I'm sure you're aware that can always be ready for a deal. I would like to get back in the big game in a way. My reputation has been sullied by the financial crisis. I weathered it without any loss. The one from a decade ago, if you recall. But I lost a lot of reputation in the business world. And I would like to get that back.
Yes, I recall the recession hit banks rather hard. Whether financially or purely reputation.
It's true.
What do you propose?
Well, originally I came here for possibilities of one of the items on your list. And I'm afraid that the other princes, if you look under mysterious note, which I should rename to auction items.
Oh, hey! Okay. Ooh, look at these cool things.
Mm-hmm. Those are the list of the items up for auction. And of course, the
Tremere.
the Staff of Tremere is up there. Yep.
I burn a library for that.
Strange device.
You probably saw it briefly. It looks like it would be like something out of the 1901 or something. You know, like a weird,
Sort of like a steampunk clockwork kind of thing.
yeah. It just looks weird.
Okay.
You have no idea what it does.
I bet it's for a potato clock.
Mm-hmm.
I know what Dawn wants.
Oh my god. Dawn knows what Dawn wants also now.
Oh, there's two things that Dawn wants.
Oh no, is there two?
Yep.
Oh, I haven't got the money for this. Oh no, there is two!
Let me guess. Medieval armor and silver sword?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There was a statue you had up. Something of a little worth in ways, but I saw that it was there. And I know some people that would pay probably a lot more than I would have to pay here at the auction. Just to keep it reasonable. But they're not always the safest of people to deal with. Within the purview of business within the Camarilla, mind you. But not always the safest. And I could call off my business if something a little more lucrative long term and business-wise came up. This was merely an investment and attempting to meet with some old allies and see who's got a name in the game. I could only identify about 3 of these items as to what they actually are. And even then, I don't have the full information on them.
Ah. Interesting.
Yes. You have an interesting set of things you've brought together. And investors.
You know what they say about museums and old things.
So, I would like a foothold in New York. Your business, we talked about it earlier, and you resisted. I understand why. It's hard to dive into business with a man that's lost some reputation, and I understand that. But perhaps, Nathan, we can work together and rebuild it. And I can look the other way for a meal. Plus, you have connections that I don't have. Europe. Beyond. You have traveled a lot and met with a few individuals that might be willing to help me expand my list. I do hear there's a blossoming market in India.
Ah.
And I saw the Elder Ravnos here. One of the last few ones. They have strongholds still there. The remaining of their blood.
Indeed, I've been looking into the, I believe it's called Bollywood scene recently.
I forgot about this.
Yes.
Are you
Getting
interested
into-
in cinema then?
Perhaps. A few of my businesses are related to things with cinema, and if a couple branches would perhaps be within India and help support your Bollywood endeavors. Plus that investment within your gyms, and a few other businesses within New York.
Ah.
We make a deal, Nathan. We're business partners now. Nothing that you couldn't step away from. But know this,
course.
it's not great to anger a business rival. And then Emil, I can't say you're forgiven, but stay out of Chicago, and I'd stay out of Milwaukee.
I nod.
Though I'm sure Julia would in turn forgive you. She might kill you first. You knew of Julia. She is another child of your sire.
Okay.
Like you, she's pretty young.
Okay.
The two of you probably are still separated out. Did you? I didn't check. What was your year embrace? Did you say?
It was only like 2 years ago.
Okay.
I'm actually.
So she was basically like early 90s that she was embraced.
Yeah.
So you would have known about her because she was still relatively recent.
Yeah.
Very intense woman. Intense even for Gangrel at times. We'll put it that way.
Yeah.
Man, I kind of want to meet her now.
The Prince of Milwaukee, who probably will try to kill Emil the first when she meets her. Him. And then might forgive him if she doesn't kill him.
Yeah, it's not really high on my priority list yet, but she sounds
It's like fourth on mine. Like it's pretty high up there.
Well, I sadly do not have the authority to give you any hold over the gym, although you would be welcome to essentially be the general manager of anything that happened in Chicago, as the gym is under the purview of my prince. However,
Interesting.
I can offer the same or similar equitable exchange for any banks that you would open in New York.
How about this? Let's leave it as a gentleman's agreement for now, and I'll send you some contracts. We can look them over, and I'll keep in mind that the gym is directly both under you and your prince. We'll keep a little bit out of the gym, but maybe some branches within Chicago and other places in the world, and using my accoutrements to spread your business a little more. New York's only one city, and there are plenty in the world.
Of course.
And a business network seems to be the only way to get large footholds nowadays without worrying about kids and their phones and the internet.
Oh, I've found that we have to worry about that quite a bit, even with just the gym. I don't really feel like talking about market strategy at the moment, but
Indeed.
I'm sure you understand.
Emil, I'll call off the people I sent to kill you.
Thank you.
And he's going to leave.
Pleasure doing
as he's-
business with you, Mr. Ballard.
And Horatio? Mark, or Mr. Decker did believe in me, and I do desire not to let that faith go to waste.
You know, I've lost a lot of good friends and relatives. If it wasn't for Lawrence, I wouldn't have met Mark. Poor Lawrence. Mark was a good one because he'd hunt those wild beasts, like the ones that took out Lawrence. Maybe you should take up that profession. Just a suggestion. You may have heard of Lawrence. Lawrence Ballard, a distant nephew that was embraced by Horatio, and died during the War of Chicago, which was in the 90s, was a very fearsome thing that was brought on by Garrow.
Okay.
It's
I
when
probably heard about it then.
Oh yeah, it's when the prince before Horatio basically got killed.
Got it.
It was Horatio's sire that Lodin. Yeah, the Grey Raven was a werewolf that had. Well, it was a war between the Cainites and the Garrow, and it was warned. It was actually something that had been prophesized by this man named the Grey Raven, a werewolf. And I guess it's that thing of he could bit a prophecy. Did the prophecy cause it, or was it actually going to happen? But yes, there was a war between Cainites and Garrow in Chicago in 1993. Yeah. Even the Sabbat had a temporary alliance with the Camarilla at that time to fend off the werewolves.
That isn't entirely smart. All right.
Yep.
Oh, that went well.
That went so much better than I thought it was gonna.
In any outcome where I didn't die was a plus.
I mean, he did call those assassins he sent to kill you.
Yeah, I know. I'm apparently, maybe it was a good idea to talk to him because apparently he had assassins.
I had him wait in the wings.
Yep.
Oh,
all right.
He knew you were here, and that's why he was planning.
Oh, I knew he did.
Of course.
I mean, there's no way he didn't know I fled to Chicago. There's no way he didn't know who I got paired up with.
Yep.
If he hated me enough, he would have kept tabs.
He hated you a good deal. Not so much, because again, it's he's businessman before personal. So, he's willing to go for, big business deals and not murder you.
Well, there you have it, Emil.
Perhaps one day I can make up for my mistakes, but I have a long life ahead of me, hopefully, or unlife.
And now you don't have to worry about inconvenient assassins randomly appearing.
I mean, I thought it might happen at some point, and it's good to know that...
Not ones that were sent by Horatio, anyway.
Yeah, at least not one sent by Horatio.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're still hanging out with us. You're still fucked.
Pretty much.
You know.
We are sitting here in the middle of a powder keg.
But
oh no, there's kind of this point where I kind of now realize, oh, okay, so what's the...
So I will briefly go over the list just because I don't have it up on screen for people. There's the ancient goblet which Nathan has. There's an Egyptian spider totem, a set of old coins made of iron, a black dagger that looks sacrificial, suit of medieval armor, a headdress that looks a little African, the staff of Tremere, a vial of blood, a silver mirror engraved with a reptilian beast on the back, an ancient a tapestry of an apocalyptic scene, an Asian-looking lantern, a silver sword with a strange design that the hilt doesn't fit with it, a strange device, the clockwork slash steampunk one we were talking about, a single gold coin with a worn face on one side and an etch of a drop of blood on the other. It looks like a blood drop hit the back of the gold coin kind of thing. It's that kind of splatter pattern. A copy of a book, and a statue of a demonic creature.
So, do we know what any of these things are, other than the Staff of Tremere and the Ancient Goblet? Like, have we encountered any of these, or
Can I
is there
check any of them?
Or is there a description that we were given by Mr. Cromwell or anything like that?
If you asked into some of them, he might be able to tell you a few, but there are ones that you do not know about.
Can we ask who provided each of these?
He will not tell.
Hmm.
He will say that the armor is an armor that he provided.
Oh.
The book is the Eurocene Fragments. It's a copy of some of the Eurocene Fragments. If you would ask about the Eurocene Fragments, they are a book that is similar to the Book of Nod. If you think of the Book of VoD as like the vampire Bible almost, it's like the ancient book that tells the stories of Caine and his cities. The Eurocene Fragments is like a collection of myths and prophecies from that time period.
Hmm.
Effectively, the fragments are a translation of some parts of the book of that were thought to be parts of the original Book of Nod that were found during the Dark Ages. So it's hard to say like how much of it is stuff from that would have actually been in like the original Book of Nod, how much of it's stuff from that time, how much of it is just weird writings. It's a book of legends and myths of vampires.
Okay.
So I'll put that on. I'll add that just to let you know what it is. From Cromwell, and the book is. Let me spell it correctly.
Will he tell us what the suit of armor is?
Ah. Yes. He can tell you. It's an ancient set of armor from his family. It was even older than him. He never used it, and it's said to have mysterious something to it, but he never figured it out or anything. For him, it's just been an armor in his collection.
Okay. All right. Cool.
So it's Tepe's family armor.
Hmm. All right.
Okay.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. So, and the Staff of Tremere is kind of obvious.
Alrighty.
So those are the ones that he can definitely tell you about directly, and then you know about the goblet that he
Right.
provided. or not providing. I don't know. Like I think you're like sort of you're using it more as like a temptation than actually putting it up, aren't you?
Yes.
All right.
I probably would have set something up where that's the thing I'm going to bid on. That's the word.
Okay.
And I'll just go up as high as I need to, and I will have arranged with Cromwell for a suitably sized donation, regardless of how much money actually
Okay.
I say.
Well, why don't we take our first break here?
Mhm.
Just so we can keep on with the timing. So if you need to use bathroom, drink, snack, or anything like that, go ahead and go do it. We'll be back in a little bit. We've got the auction item list up. They had their meeting with a Horatio Ballard. And the evening is coming, or the day is approaching as sunrise comes. Haha, I'm going to keep trying to remember to do that. I will stop the joke. I've done it so long. I'm going to try to fix myself.
Such a good long running joke, though.
I know. It's lasted so long. And anyway, we'll be back in a little bit to continue the adventure since the auction is about to start. So, see you in a little bit, folks.